Liverpool is showing you, okay, one, yes, they have the ability to come back, but it feels more of like a cardiac kid kind of a thing.
How concerned can we be, or how much can we really ring any alarms when they won every single game? Let's start today with Champions League because Champions League has returned. Let's start with Liverpool. Liverpool win it late again. Are they this good or are they just lucky? That's why it is today's top topic, presented by Buchanan's Blended Scotch Whiskey, an official FIFA World Cup 26 supporter. Nos vamos al Mundial with a Bucanita on hand.
This is the top topic.
Let's go. Are they this good or are they just lucky? I think it's a blend of the two, but I'm going to say it's 40% good.
All right.
60% lucky. At some point, he can't keep getting away with this.
They can't keep getting away with it. Well, Liverpool, this is what, their fourth or fifth game of
4 out of 6, if I'm not mistaken, 4 out of 6 games.
Right.
So they've played where they've won late.
Yes. Well, they've had 2-goal leads in 3 matches this season, and they have 9 points out of those matches.
So they won all of those?
So they won all those games. And so they obviously they just we're recording this on Wednesday, just so everybody knows. So we're recording after the second day of Champions League matches. So we just watched them play against Atlético Madrid, and there's something this season that's odd, is that it's like that sort of hammer of like control that they would have last season. I mean, obviously Champions League is its own, it's a different beast, and anything can kind of happen in these matches. But in the Premier League, it was pretty solid and not really any kind of confusion or matches like this that consistently. So they are up. They were up by 2, then 2-1, then 2-2, then end up winning 3-2
on a Virgil.
And why? Why is this? Is this a pattern that is going to keep developing? Do they have issues defensively? Obviously, the midfield looks a little bit different.
They do have issues defensively, right? Because they keep giving up these goal leads.
Sure.
So at some point, that snake will bite you. You know what I mean? I think even, right, people were talking about Leverkusen was the last time we saw this, when they went invincible, right? And now Florian Wirtz is there. So what happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get bitten by a radioactive Florian Wirtz? I think what happened during the Leverkusen, I remember watching a lot of these games, it would be like 0-0 or 1-1. It wouldn't be like, they wouldn't let the other team come back and then
they weren't
retake
conceding a lot and scoring a whole bunch of goals and stuff like that. Yeah.
So the other thing about them was that they had a strong defensive prowess for most of those matches. I wouldn't say all of them, because there was a couple where it was pretty crazy. But Liverpool is showing you, okay, one, yes, they have the ability to come back, but it feels more of like a cardiac kid kind of a thing.
Yeah.
This feels like more of the cardiac birds,
It's a liver bird. Yeah. It's not as it's easily not as sustainable, right? I mean, they can't. Seemingly they can't keep playing like this.
No, if you keep giving up goal leads, then you're gonna. If you keep giving up leads, then you're gonna lose.
Arne Slot has to be like, guys, enough of this.
We didn't draw none of this up.
So maybe there's like a mentality thing this early in the season. New players getting settled. I mean, even the lineup itself, right? I mean, the back line.
This was Isak's first time playing with the team. We're not even talking about it.
Sure, yeah. I mean, he wasn't super impactful in the game. But is it Frimpong, the new right back? Is it just a different midfield? Obviously, Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz is getting a lot of attention. Because people feel like he's underperforming, or he's definitely not worth the transfer fee.
I'm not 100% sure how lucky or good Liverpool is, but I think we're pretty good, and we'd be really lucky if you were to hit that like button, because that tells YouTube to share this video with so many other people. Don't you want more friends? Don't you want us to have more friends? The moments he's given an opportunity to shine, he doesn't.
Sure, but
he did that again in this match.
But then if they keep winning, it's like, all right, well, complain all you like. Well, our team is winning.
It's like, look, we'll get to you in a minute.
We're not even in the situation where I'm an issue and I'm a concern. So I wonder.
But I think the last time we saw this was in the Premier League. We saw this was like maybe the Fergie era, where they got a lot of time. And you mentioned Arnie time, as opposed to Fergie time. I could see that being, I could see that being part of it, where maybe they're getting a lot of just extra, or maybe this is tactical. They're very smart about drawing a lot of fouls and, sort of earning that a little additional time to win those games. But the last time we truly saw this was Leverkusen going invincible in Bundesliga. And you just don't get, for the most part, Bundesliga, you get more easier games than you would in the Premier League. The Premier League from top to bottom is stacked with very strong teams. So it's very hard. And I feel like those little mistakes become huge sort of glaring issues in the Premier League faster than any other league. So I just don't see this being sustainable. I don't see this as being a thing. And at the end of the day, I think this is actually even though, yes, they are coming back and getting 9 points from 9 times they've given up 2-goal leads, it still feels like this is a major issue that needs to be fixed. Defensively, they are nowhere near what they looked like before. And everyone assumed getting rid of Trent Alexander-Arnold, that he was the problem.
No, right. And again,
what's happening now?
There seems to be, how concerned can we be, or how much can we really ring any alarms when they won every single game that they played this season? So right. I don't know. It's just an odd thing for a team that is undefeated. Yeah. So I think, Arne Slot definitely is trying to kind of figure it out. But I would assume that the changing of just getting rid of players like Luis Diaz, obviously, the passing of Diogo Jota, it could be psychologically that it maybe not sort of where they want to be right now.
I can see that. I didn't think about the Diogo Jota thing. That can absolutely still be affecting them. But what do you think? You think they're that good, or they're just this lucky?
I do think that they are that good. It's hard to say that because then they just played Burnley and got a handball that was comical, and they they obviously did not deserve to win that game. Burnley deserved the result in that game. If it
Burnley
wasn't for
should have taken a point away.
Stupid, stupid result, a stupid decision. But it's a little bit of both, I guess. But
what percentage would you give? Like I did, I said it was 40% good, 60% luck.
I'm gonna say the opposite. I'm going to say 60% good and 40% luck.
All right. Way to be a contrarian to my point. Very cool.
Okay. This is first take, bro.
Yeah, damn.
We didn't mention.
How could you say that? You crazy.
People don't know, but Molly Karam is joining the show soon.
Yeah.
Big surprise. That's right. That's why she left first take.
That's why.
She was like, I need to talk about soccer with 2 comedians.
It's been too long I've been at this network.
2 days a week. So... let's move on to a couple other Champions League results, or even just controversy. We got to talk about Real Madrid because this is getting ridiculous. And honestly, sometimes it feels like the Champions League is refereed with a different set of rules. Like there's a different rule book, and I understand that some leagues in general in different countries referee a little bit differently.
Yeah, they call certain things certain ways.
But UEFA there should be some standard across.
I think there is. That's Real Madrid's allowed to get away with whatever they want, and then there's everyone else.
Right. What is there's like the meme Madrid penalty by Madrid. People always put it in like all these like different TikToks and stuff. But this handball from
if you are a tinfoil hat wearing anti-Real Madrid conspiracy theorist,
which is that's who I am.
Yeah. Then this was exhibit A or exhibit D, C, whatever, Z at this point for you.
Right.
This was another example of like, well, it's getting hard to prove that there isn't a conspiracy against the teams playing Real Madrid.
Who got the yellow? Who got the handball? What was the name of the player? Facundo Medina. He was the defender.
Yeah. Okay.
That blocked the ball against Vinicius and got the handball. And if we might be seeing some photos right now on screen, but he clearly, and now it's not even about clearly.
Well, the rule is like the hand you're bracing your fall from.
Yes.
But that wasn't the hand he hit.
That wasn't the hand he hit. So the ball is on his inside, basically his left side of his body. He stops it with his left leg.
Right.
He and the ball takes a bounce. He braces himself with the hand behind him, his right arm, puts it down to the ground. The ball, his hand is also going down in a very much a natural position. Both hands are going down to brace himself. The right one goes first. Yes.
The left hand is coming down, makes contact with the ball that's kind of behind him.
Yeah. I mean, it clearly
it's like next to him, but kind of behind him.
It's somewhat a obviously helped him control the ball, kind of a thing, and maintain possession, but very much natural. It's a sort of a bang play, like it hit, hits his leg, puts the arm down, then the other hand goes down and it hits the ball. Nothing intentional about it. Very much a natural play. Everybody would have understood if you do not call this a penalty. And then we have some level of precedence, especially recently, the Mexico US game in the Gold Cup final.
Right.
I forgot the name of the player. But palms the ball, legit. Right. And they said that he was bracing his arm. I would say that is more a penalty.
That was more egregious than this. Yeah, for sure. And it's hard for me to say, like, all right, I waited. I was like, you know what, Christina Uncle got this.
Yeah,
she's gonna break down some weird rules. She's gonna say based on the rules, based on the way the law is written. Blah, blah. And even she was like, hey, man.
I don't know that dude.
I don't know what this dude looking at, yo.
I can't believe he passed ref school.
Yeah, no, that dude. He not invited to the ref cookout, bro.
We don't.
We do it every year. He can't come,
We
bro.
done with him. No, but that's how bad it was. And Mike Grella, your coworker,
he said it a little differently. He said, what if I had no filter?
So let's play that real quick.
I mean, listen, if we're going to have a good show, let's call it what it is. This is robbery. It's Real Madrid in the Champions League. It happens all the time. We see it over and over again. How four guys could sit in a VAR room, and see this and say, yeah, I still think that's a penalty, you got to start to say it's ridiculous now. And it affects the game because Marseille, with a man up with 10, 15 minutes to go, could get something out of the game. I thought they performed good enough to get a point on the road, and they were robbed. That's what it is.
So Mike Grella going off and being like, let's just be for real.
Yeah.
It's Real Madrid.
Hey, I'm gonna call it as I see it.
They get all the calls.
Yeah. This ain't new.
they got
a cheater gonna cheat.
Marseille got robbed.
Yeah.
And the whole
Even
thing.
I put Marseille got robbed on Threads.
Yeah.
Remember Threads? Opened that up for the first time in a while. But even I said, like, clearly this is,
especially on the day that the first ever American scores at the Bernabeu against Real Madrid in the Champions League, bro. They
just don't want us to win, dog. And what a tough interview for Tim Weah afterwards, where, he wants to have a good time.
Exactly.
And he's like, I'm really happy I got to score. But unfortunately, I wish we would have gotten the win. You know what I mean? You got to do that second part.
And they were up a man because Danny Carvajal gets a red for a dunk. I mean, it's just, I hate it when it's like the older, if you're over 30 years old, you can't be getting red cards.
You got to know better.
You've been in those situations. Mm-hmm. You've been the one that they're trying to rile you up. You have the experience.
Right.
Why is he? And then the goalkeeper is immediately, I mean, such a cheek-to-cheek graze.
He rolled on. He held his face.
All right. It was he. You know how wrestlers give themselves a cut and they start bleeding all of a sudden. Yeah. I thought the goalkeeper
hit himself with a folded chair. I thought that was a bit much.
It was unreal. But it's
also Danny Carvajal. So he comes in for Trent, who gets injured pretty early in the match.
Yeah.
Something looked like something up with his knee. I don't know. They haven't said yet. But I'm thinking to myself, they're actually in better position because Danny Carvajal is a better defender. He's been there at the highest levels. He probably doesn't have it to do 90 every game in and out, but to come in for 80 minutes or whatever it was, he'll be all right. And bro, he's the one who ends up getting a red card.
Yeah.
And still Marseille couldn't win.
Yeah. I mean, it was going to be.
It did also seem to me, and again, this is all allegedly, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
It seemed to me that the refereeing took a slightly different approach towards the end of the match. As soon as Real Madrid goes down to 10, it felt to me like all of a sudden they were getting a lot of the momentum of the calls. So I'm just telling you, it just seemed to me.
Well, we had this conversation when we had our comedian friend Alex Falcon of Is It a Scam? Yep. And he had talked about refereeing and how refereeing is so heavily influenced by the home fans,
right?
And given this,
that you can pressure
the referee, and then you would imagine there'd be some sort of impact and effect on their decisions and stuff like that. you hate to see that. I don't want to believe that and this is the thing, especially with Barcelona and Real Madrid fans. They're constantly being like, Real Madrid gets all the calls and blah, blah, blah. But this one felt so ridiculous. And Mike Grella's comment specifically about that, he can't believe that 4 referees in the VAR booth look at that and they say, hey, go take another look at that because we think that's a penalty. That's where, because it wasn't called a penalty immediately. And that's the frustrating part, that this feels like one of those games that was re-refereed with that decision. And I want to see this more from UEFA because I don't see it enough. I want to see, and because it happens in MLS very often, I want to see VAR suggest a penalty or suggest a call, and the center ref say, no, I don't think that's the correct call. And I can't even imagine. I don't even know how many times this even happened across all of UEFA. It just does not happen enough. And there has to be some moment where the ref says,
you want the ref to stand on business.
Yeah, I want the ref to be like, yo, I understand what you guys are saying. We'll talk about this over dinner.
Yeah.
But I think you're wrong.
I'm
here.
not driving you home, but I'll take you to dinner. Yeah, I mean, I guess I get it. But at the same time, it's like if the technology is there, it should be used correctly. And I think that's what Grella was trying to say. Like, how is it you have this many people and yet you all still get it wrong?
Yeah, I mean, it's 3 of us in this room right now. None of us thought it was a penalty. I can't believe you could find 3 people in any room in the world that agree that was a penalty.
What if Christian Uncle from home is just VAR? What if that's it? What if we figured it out?
A remote gig, bro.
You gotta watch every game.
So, okay. Another crazy game. Juve played against Borussia Dortmund.
This game was absolutely incredible. It was one of my favorite games I've seen in a long time.
And Dortmund are winning. They're chilling, bro. I can't.
They couldn't Liverpool. They couldn't Liverpool.
They couldn't Liverpool. But this has been a unfortunately, kind of a common story with Dortmund. And defensively, they've had issues for pretty much the last 2 to 3 years. I mean, they just haven't found a back line that can compete with the rest of Bundesliga, let alone Champions League. Yeah. So they have a lot to figure out. But I wonder here, who is this result more disappointing for? Like, are Juve and Dortmund basically right now on the same level, as even with expectations of what they want to get from Champions League?
I feel like Dortmund is in a sort of an in-between period. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have like the obvious big name that's a young player that's a start that they're going to sell, where it feels like they were in this mode of just constantly having that. But if you're Juve, can you use these last 2 matches, right? They had an absolute stellar win against Inter in the Derby d'Italia this weekend. And then they have this magical comeback in 2 goals in stoppage time to beat equalize the match against Dortmund. Does this spur on a renewed ability this season? You know what I mean? Where it seemed like, man, we started out weird and all of a sudden, boom, you got these 2 incredible matches. Back to back, it's wild. And for them to find that magic again against a team like Dortmund, which again, that's a much higher level than Inter Milan right now.
Okay. Yeah.
You could say that, right? I mean, maybe it's pretty even, but still, nonetheless, Dortmund seemingly had control of this game. To let it slip at the end is crazy.
Yeah. I know they're very disappointed. Another wild result was Benfica Karabag. Karabag had never won in their history in Champions League, and they beat Benfica 3-2. And they were down 2-0.
Yeah.
So Benfica was up 2-0 at home. And where does Karabag play? Where am I forgetting?
Azerbaijan?
Maybe.
I believe it's Azerbaijan.
Okay. Yes.
It is Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
What do I not know that took place of that memory? That's crazy. Baku, if I'm not mistaken.
So yeah, this was a unbelievable.
I'll give you $1,000 if you can name a player on Karabag.
No, not happening. Fatmob's gonna help me.
I feel bad for Benfica. I feel worse for their manager, Bruno Lage, who you may remember from his time managing, obviously Benfica way back in the day, but managing Wolverhampton Wolves. He was the Wolverhampton manager. He got sacked immediately after the match.
Yeah, they were like, no, this is way too embarrassing. We cannot do it.
He made the players go to the fans and stand there in front of the supporters and kind of, get
Yeah.
They wave their fingers
they got
at them.
a little pow pow.
Yeah. Everybody line up. You're getting a pow pow. And that seemed like to be the last thing he did as a manager.
Yeah.
Was that because he immediately gets sacked. And who do they bring in?
Oh, you know who they got to bring in.
The guy who was just at Porto waving at his beloved fans.
Mm-hmm.
Jose Mourinho.
Jose Mourinho is going to be the manager at Benfica.
This is...
I
know not everyone follows the Portuguese. This is like the worst thing that ever happened to Porto fans.
This is a blood becoming a crib, bro.
Yo, for real.
So, yeah, this is... I had seen a comment from him. He said that... Who would turn down the manager job at Benfica? Not me. Is that what he said? Which is,
bro, he just loves burning bridges. This guy.
So he got obviously sacked from Fenerbahce not too long ago, and now is back in Portugal. Obviously, he won Champions League with Porto when he was their manager, which propelled his career and brought him obviously to Spain, to England, to Italy.
One of the people on his coaching squad was Andre Villas-Boas. Remember him, AVB? He's now the president of Porto. But what his job when he worked with Jose Mourinho at Porto was he was like the spy. He would be the one that pretended to be a tourist on vacation.
I love it.
At these other clubs.
He's just like, hey,
and they'd like let him walk around and look at training.
I'm just a man in my Birkenstocks.
yeah. Nah, brother. Like, hey man, you're very clearly a Portuguese guy. But Wagwan Estoril. Nah, me want to watch training. And they're like, nah, you can't do that. Please stop. But I think
it's getting offensive, sir.
Dude, I've met you before. What you call it? He literally his job was to spy on other teams. He would get training documents and all this.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he knows what Mourinho's kind of gonna do next.
Jeez.
And I wonder that this is gonna make this into a much more of a telenovela.
Andres Villas-Boas was in Mossad, I guess.
Oh wow.
I don't know what.
Is that worse than what I did? Possibly.
So no, I'm excited to just see Mourinho closer as opposed to playing and managing in Turkey. It should be exciting, and obviously him back in Champions League. So the storylines and then the topics for our show are just gonna continue to get.
Buddy, I'm gonna look up Benfica's schedule. What are the Champions League?
They're so we do that before we wrap up the segment.
Let's see. What's the one match I want to see?
Matches. Here we go. They play Chelsea's next.
Oh, buddy.
So
he coached so many teams.
That's gonna be fun, right?
Yeah.
They got Newcastle. Yep. They got Bayer Leverkusen. Benfica has a really...
Wait a minute. Benfica is the one that beat Fenerbahce in the qualifying to get into the Champions League.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right.
Jeez. So yeah, they got Newcastle, Leverkusen, Ajax, Napoli, Juventus, and Real Madrid.
That's gonna be a fun one.
The Jose
the
novela.
Tour. Him going on tour.
He mean all his exes, bro.
he's gonna go see all the children he left behind and all these
What's
different.
He gonna say? Remember when he said the Turkish league smells bad and it's gray?
Yeah.
What's he gonna say about Portugal, bro?
We shall see. All right. Right now, it is time to announce the winner of our Premier League Fan Fest Avery Dennison shirt giveaway. The Premier League's morning. We're going to be there this weekend, but we'll
be hosting, baby.
We'll announce the giveaway on Monday, and we can announce.
Now it is time to pick a winner.
Our two winners.
Or announce the winners because they have been picked.
Yes, we did a random raffle from a raffle website. We put all the names.
Totally legit. We picked a winner from our YouTube and a winner from our Instagram post. We asked you to comment FanFest. If you commented FanFest, you qualified.
Right.
But the winners are, why don't we do YouTube first?
YouTube. The winner on YouTube is Carter, put in a drum roll right here. The winner on YouTube is Brooke and Zero.
Come on.
Shout out to Brooke and Zero.
That's the shirt you're winning right there, baby.
Yes.
Well, it looks like that. That's not the actual shirt.
Somebody in the comments did say, can we get it with your sweat on it?
Ooh.
Obviously watching the James Sands episode.
Wow.
So
you're going to have to run around for quite a long time. Or me, just a little bit. All right. And we still have one more winner. We got to pick someone from the Instagram. And from the Instagram, it is...
More Man Max.
Hey.
So shout out to both of you. Thank you so much. We will be contacting both of you on how to ship that to you. So but congratulations. And if you want to get this shirt, you can order it. They are limited edition. They are available on the link is in the description in this video. Go to our Instagram. It's I believe it's shop.mblex.com, but it's an Avery Dennison shirt and it's absolutely fire.
It's so dope.
I love every fan fest. We pick one of these up, and they are dope. They're like one of our favorites of the collection, and it's also a very a sentimental piece of like
a little time capsule.
Hey, we went to this fan fest, was great. These are the great memories I have of this moment.
Of course.
So I highly recommend you pick one up if you didn't get a chance to win.
Go to the link if you did not win. If you are now Brooke and Zero or More Max Man, More Man Max.
Yeah.
Then go to the link, get yourself a shirt. So dope. We've got a pair because we are going to be at Kansas City this weekend.
Exactly. So we'll see you there. Absolutely thrilled about our next guest.
Wow.
I mean, when it comes to stars coming through the show, but not only just stars, but people that have silverware, okay?
Bro,
that
also captains.
Okay? She's wearing a pirate hat, right?
A bird on her shoulder. This is intimidating, bro, because I've seen this player play, and I'm like, yo, you can tell when you ain't doing the right thing in front of her. She's like, I'm gonna remember this for halftime speech.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You may know her of the NWSL champion Portland Thorns, and you may know her of the 2024 gold medalist, the U.S. Women's National Team in soccer at the Olympics. The one and only Sam Coffey. Sam, what's up?
Thank you guys for having me. I wish I had access to a machine like that. I could have a button of my own to press, but
we got it, bro. We got it for you.
You know what? We're sending you the board.
You know what? It's yours. You're gonna have it.
That's how tough you are on the pitch. We're like, we got to send her all the equipment.
Does it make you feel more at home when you hear us pronounce it coffee?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, for a second, I'm like, is this Portland or is this Westchester County? It does. It's like a certain bit of home when you say it like that. I love it.
We'll start there. Our studio. Oh, I just
there we go. Who needs pens?
Our studio is in right near Times Square in New York. I'm originally from Brooklyn. Alexis is originally from Newark, New Jersey, but currently lives in Brooklyn. And you are a New Yorker.
I am.
And this is kind of where I want to start because when it comes to New York, people don't necessarily think soccer. They don't. The New Jersey has all the footballers that come out of there. They have all this. The
Tyler Adams is repping Wappingers Falls. I think that's how people found out Wappingers Falls exists.
Yeah.
And then 100%. We looked you up. Dobbs Ferry, Sleepy Hollow area.
Sleepy Hollow is my hometown, born and raised. Very proud to be from Sleepy.
I live right over in Rockland County, over the Tappan Zee.
Okay, yep. Okay. Well, formerly the Tappan Zee, presently it's always the Tappan Zee.
Tappan Zee forever.
It's always the Tappan Zee. They tried changing it, and I think my parents might be a part of like the committee that's like Tappan Zee Forever T-shirts.
Let's go.
Remember when they fixed it and they got rid of those weird wind things they had on the side? I'm like, it doesn't look like a spaceship anymore.
Yeah, I know. I go over it still, and I'm like, what is this?
So
like,
can you talk a little bit about growing up in and playing soccer in New York? Or were there certain schools that you played? What was the journey like?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Not a lot of, I would say, big time soccer players are coming out of New York, and hopefully that narrative is starting to change. But I did have to travel to New Jersey for most of my club soccer career as a young player. So I spent a lot of time in Bergen County and Morristown, New Jersey, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
Never as far as Newark, thankfully.
All right. No, wild disrespectful. I'm gonna call my cousin to go steal a car in Sleepy Hollow now. Just to
And we frequent often. We frequent Newark often, but I've seen all there is to see, I think. But yeah, I mean, I love Sleepy with all my heart. I visit as much as I can. I'm super proud to be a part of that community. But yeah, growing up playing was a bit of a challenge. I think there wasn't a ton of high level teams in the area. So I had to kind of get creative and maybe travel a little bit further. But it does really seem like that landscape is changing, which is really exciting. But I have a lot of pride for where I'm from and love giving back in any way I can and visiting as much as I can as well. So yeah.
I think you're a really good example of some of the things that we talk about. It feels like because it's a big country and there's so many scouts now and there's so many eyes, especially in the women's game in the US, it feels like we know all the best talent. But you kind of did a more creative route to get sort of eyes seen on you, not just traveling far, not as far as Newark, but traveling far to get seen. But also you went to BC first, right? You went to Boston College before you ended up going to Penn State, and you had to sort of prove your worth every step of the way. Are you looking at your career as saying like, good, maybe I could be an example that maybe we should be looking a little bit deeper in some of these, areas that we don't always search for talent?
100%. I think I'm really proud in the way that I've kind of taken like this path less traveled, if you will. Like, I think there's route one to success or to the top, and some girls take that. I've definitely been this kind of winding path, and even transferring is a huge part of that. But even when I visited Sleepy after we won gold in 2024, I went and we did like a little celebration there, which is really sweet and embarrassing in a lot of ways. But I shared with, some of the little kids that had come out in their little jerseys and things like that, that there's like no one way to get to where you want to go, whatever that might be. Like could have been so many moments in my own career where could have thought like, it's just not going to happen for me, or this isn't making sense, or this isn't how this person did it. And to let that discourage me. But I think instead that's become a strength in a lot of ways and something that I'm really, really proud of. And I believe every step of my journey has been exactly as it's supposed to be and has led me to where I am now.
Amazing. And I think I had seen I don't know if it was in your like Wikipedia or something, but you were the like MVP all 4 years in your high school, or like best player or something along those lines. Is that accurate?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's true.
She knows.
No, I swear. Well, you think I'm like frequenting my Wikipedia page, and I'm like, yeah, like, that's really good.
Just making sure it's all right.
So, but I wonder if there's moments, if like when I hear like the best player all 4 years, I'm like, all right, were you too big of a fish in this small pond? Did you even feel like, oh man, I'm not getting good enough as quickly as I want to be because I'm kind of like dominating?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely did feel like a small pond at times, but kind of like I just talked about, I think a lot of those things quickly became like a strength for me because it meant I had to put even more time in on my own, or maybe go try to train with some boys teams in the area. Kind of get creative with what my own development looked like, traveling far, not as far as Newark, but far.
We got
And
say it every time.
yeah, like whatever it took to get me to that next level, I was gonna do, and I wasn't gonna let my zip code or whatever it might be get in the way of like what I knew I wanted to do and what my dreams were.
But you never told your parents like, can we move to New Jersey? No. Can we go to Southern California?
How about Wakey Hollow? Have we thought about
that? I've never heard that one. That's good. No, never can we move, especially not to New Jersey. I mean, as a native New Yorker, there's a deep loathing.
I love it.
A loathing of New Jersey that will always remain. But no, I mean, I wouldn't trade, my upbringing in Sleepy for the world. Obviously, maybe there are some hoops and ladders to jump through with soccer and development and training like that. But I think this next generation, that's totally shifted, and the girls have so much more opportunities than I think I even had at that age. So that's so exciting to see. But no, I have so much pride for where I'm from, and love, again, being able to like give back to them and the community that raised me in any small way. And I wouldn't trade it for the world.
It's really good. I try to think about sometimes like the athlete mentality, and we talk about so many athletes. It feels like, and maybe this is where, you sort of get a little bit of a leg up. You have to have people around you that are willing to say you're not playing your hardest or you didn't give it your all in those moments. You come from a very sort of different background than I think most of us, in that your father and now your sister, very accomplished sports writers. So when your dad in the car driving home from the game told you that you didn't play well or you could have done a little better, did he do it in like 2,000 words with a full title?
Without the stat sheet, the highlights.
Yeah. No run-on sentences, perfect grammar.
Third person.
No. For me, the criticism didn't come in post-game. I have the best parents, like just the best parents. I could spend this whole podcast talking about how, just the way I was raised and the love in our household. And they were not the type to get into me after a game. They were just always supportive. I think they saw some of the, I'm sure you guys know, growing up in, New York, New Jersey area, just like the crazy soccer parents on the sideline screaming at the ref or, at their own kid or at someone else's kid. And I think they saw that and they were like, oh, like, no.
Yeah.
And they did things very differently, which I think only nourished my own love for the game and really allowed me to just like focus on, one, they knew I was hardest on myself as it was, and like they didn't need to say anything to add to that. But only, of course, pushing me to be my best in the way parents do and not coddling me in any way. But, I grew up with so much love and support and encouragement. I would say if there was criticism that came out, it was after I wrote a paper or if I, had like an English project or an essay and my dad's like, why would you use that word here? Or I'd send it to him in college and ask him to like send it back with some edits and the whole paper is like red and things crossed out.
Just
and
lines
like,
everywhere.
He's like gentle parenting with everything, and then he's throwing your homework in the fireplace.
Yeah. He sent you a video of it going in a shredder, and he's like, "Try again."
It's like, okay, I made a couple edits. The thing's rewritten. I'm like, oh man, all right. I guess
great.
this
It's kind of wild because it's like Sam Coffey was essentially gentle parented and is like a dog on the pitch.
Yeah, where'd you get this energy and attitude from?
Look, gentle parenting, like, I don't want to put it as gentle, but like, I wasn't, my parents weren't telling me what a piece of crap I was after games and things like that.
Must be nice.
I'd love for you to meet my mom. I really would love for you to meet my mom for 5 minutes.
Look, you guys, I would love to. I don't know. I do think like where I'm from does add an element of that. Not that, Sleepy Hollow is Manhattan by any means, but I definitely do think that adds, a kind of, just like a certain bite and attitude to think my game. But
you can talk about this, and I'm sure this will kind of organically go there. But you obviously captain of the Portland Thorns, and you also captain in your younger teams as well. This is another thing where leadership seems to come very naturally for you. So. Especially, younger players don't tend to get this kind of these are not necessarily put in these positions. Coaches don't really give that responsibility to younger players, but you clearly proved yourself very quickly. And it's obviously, even for us watching you and just talking to you, I'm like, it's like a natural maybe on the national team as well,
100%.
Of getting the armband too. So where did some of that come from? Because it seems, pretty natural for you.
yeah, I think I've always just like loved the opportunity in leadership. And I think the moments in my career I've like leaned most into that and especially now, I think it feels like I'm coming into myself most as like both a player and a person. I think even when I got to the Thorns as a rookie and you're like looking around and it's just like Becky Sauerbrunn and Christine Sinclair and Megan Klingenberg and like Crystal Dunn, you're just like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like how is this my life now? And I feel like you're faced with a choice, especially as a young player, of like, am I just gonna follow, which is so important, but also like, what do I have to bring? And like, what do I have to offer here? And if I don't offer what I think my strengths are, then I'm kind of doing not only the team a disservice, but also myself and, the people that raised me and poured into me and supported me to get here. And so I think from the second I became a pro, that really was my mindset. Like, I always want to influence in whatever way that looks. If that's like the other rookies in my class or any teammate or maybe someone not seeing a lot of game time. Like, I think we all are in positions of influence if we see it that way. And we often don't, but like, I always want to use that as something that is positive and can have a good impact on others in the team. And so I've really just done my best to lean into that.
What made you become a defensive midfielder? Because that seems like a position that a coach asks you to play once and then you shine and now you're stuck there. That doesn't seem like you didn't grow up with defensive midfielder posters on your wall.
No, well, I mean, look, like Busquets and even Pirlo, like there are some that I'm like, oh my God.
Sure.
Okay.
Do you see yourself as more a regista than a defensive midfielder?
No.
Okay. I was gonna say that's
No. No, God, no. I mean, come on. No, I mean, I was like 8'10" all growing up, especially in college. Like I was a pretty traditional 10. I always say I didn't really start defending till I went to Penn State. I had no interest. I wasn't about it. I just thought that was someone
I've
else's
never even
job.
seen that side of the field.
I don't know what happens back there.
What is a 1v1 on the defensive side of things? Like I'm good. But then I went to Penn State and I say this all the time, but like that decision I think is one of the, if not the biggest reason like I am where I am today and totally reshaped my life and my development. And again, learned how to defend. And I'm still learning, of course, always. But it wasn't until I got to the Thorns as a rookie where our coach at the time, Rian Wilkinson, told me that she saw me as a 6 and she wants to try me out here. And she thought that a lot of my skill sets maybe fit the profile of like what she's looking for in a 6. And I'm like, girl, you could play me in goal. I'll be the ref. Like, in I'm getting
You're
on
like,
the
I'll
field.
be the 13. I don't
Yeah,
the 12.
like I'm, and of course in the moment I'm like, me, like a 6, really?
Right.
Because I had played it a little bit in college because I was forced to due to injury and things like that. And I was not expecting to fall in love with it the way that I did. And similar to leadership, I think the more that I grow as a 6, the more I feel like I come to myself fully as a player. And yeah, maybe I'm not the flashy Busquets, like, incredible on the ball and all these things, but I do find so much pride in being both like so front-footed and aggressive defensively, kind of that dog, and then also like how can I be this liaison that connects our team and like help set the tempo and be a 6 that distributes and has, really good passing ability. And those are always goals and things I'm trying to improve. I'll really pride myself on.
So
Let me ask you a quick follow-up. I watched a YouTube sort of tactical video randomly got recommended to me, and it was about defensive midfielders. And it started with saying being a central defensive midfielder is the easiest job on the pitch. It said all you have to do is follow the press and turn and pass. Now, I just want to hear, what's your reaction to that? Because that seems insane to me.
No, I mean, look, there's so many hard positions on the field that I have so much respect for. I do feel like being a 6 is one of the most difficult and also the most overlooked, which is one of the reasons I love it. Like, I think there's such a beauty in, like, it is such a nuanced position and the details matter so much. But like, if you're a normal spectator, you're not watching them. And you're not like, oh my gosh, like what a one-touch pass into space, or like
Right.
what a last-ditch tackle like that led to the counterattack. But like those are like my bread and butter that I've grown to just love so much, and like that get me so fired up. Um, and I love that element of the position that like I'm doing my job if like you don't really notice me. If I'm setting my teammates up to be the best that they can be and set them up for success in their next action. But I would totally disagree with that
There we
narrative
go.
that it's the easiest. Generally it's the most crowded part of the field. You're having to break that first line of pressure. You're having to protect your back line. Like it's not easy. If they're finding it easy, they're doing a better job than me.
I love just the joy that you are speaking about it, because I saw a video recently we have a friend, expected own goals. There was a video that they showed you a goal that happened, and you were kind of analyzing it. This must have been 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that.
Okay.
And the giddiness and joy that you're happy somebody asked you about it, and this is the thing with defensive midfield, being overlooked. And this is your opportunity to be like, you see what I did?
Right?
This goal wouldn't happen.
They'd be nothing without me.
No.
Me.
That's not me. But I love that it is like this kind of unspoken position. Like again, it's just I feel like I tend to rate myself game to game based off like how the people around me play and how I'm best setting them up for success, because I think that is so much like the importance and job of a 6 is this link. Like you're really in the center of everything and you have this opportunity to play the front foot to your outside back, or play your 10 in the pocket so they can turn and they can drive,
Sure.
or find longer balls or whatever. Protect your back line so that they're not isolated in 1v1 situations. Like, if I'm doing that for my teammates and they're able to thrive, then I've done my job, and
I
I don't
love
need anybody to know
I
that.
love that because in the video you had said, and it wasn't a thing I necessarily noticed, but you said that the player, so the other team had the ball, so you said the player had their back to you, so you knew to press in that moment because she didn't know that you were
there.
You were there,
Yeah.
and it's essentially what led to the goal. And I'm
Mhm.
just like, all right. I mean, I'm watching the game, but Coffey, she is experiencing the game.
There's something else happening.
Yeah,
You're watching it differently than we do for sure.
So,
And that's okay. I mean, that's the beauty of it, you know.
love
And
it.
like, I mean,
I-
that Sofen took someone 1v1 and did her thing that she does so brilliantly, and like that is the highlight of the clip. But for me, like that is those bread and butter moments where I'm like, yeah, like I can get after someone here, I can make a big tackle here, I can help connect the lines or transition the team. Like those are the parts of being a six, and
all right.
I mean,
look,
all the parts. I just
Sam,
love getting
Sam,
to
that's,
do.
this is why you're gonna win us a World Cup again.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
I might start tucking in my shirt. Now that you said-
And that's what I wanted to ask about. We had a question from one of our fans, our Patreon, our supporters group. You guys have the Riveters and stuff like that, but we have Gully Squad.
I love that.
The Lura McCoy, she asked the question, what inspired the tuck shirt? Look, I'm sure you get this question a lot, but I don't.
I do,
would love to
yeah.
know.
And I do like answering this question because it's not something I always did, which might seem surprising. And now looking back, I'm like, I should have always done this. This like fits me so well. But I got called up to my first camp as a rookie in like May, and I was with the team as a training player before they went to World Cup qualifying in Mexico, and then they were going to go to Mexico, and I was going to go back with the Thorns. So it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks. I was with my first experience with the national team, so it's just like dream come true. It was an incredible moment. And yeah, camp was great. It was just like an amazing first experience. The team goes off to Mexico. I go back. I actually meet the Thorns in LA for a game. And it was kind of before that game. I remember we were in our white kits on the road. And I think like genuinely, like I come out of the bathroom and like my shirt was accidentally tucked like into my shorts. And I was like, oops, like I look silly. But then I like looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, this kind of works for you. Like this is
Okay.
kind of fitting. Like
This
you
is
know,
who you
like,
are, Sam. As you talking to yourself in the
this
mirror.
is who you've always been. Why are you hiding? Like, and I mentioned I went to Kent State, and you know we have 3 pillars of our program, and one of that is blue collar, and it's one that I've always just loved. Like, get dirty. You don't got to be flashy. You don't have to, kind of. I don't know. Like, we're gonna get in, or we're gonna get the work
Sure.
done. We're gonna get the job done. Like, no matter what, whatever it takes. And for me, like even doing that felt very kind of blue collar, old school, traditional. I love kind of connecting with those aspects of the game. And so I tried it. I was like, why not? Let's see. And it just stuck. I don't know. Like it just stuck. People started noticing it. I'm like, this feels strange. And it's apparently a kind of a controversial subject, but if people think it looks good or not, I'm like, I don't really care. My shirt's not in my way. So, and it's not going to get in the way of the job that I know I need to do. So
I want to ask because I also we've seen you recently at the Emmys. Couldn't tuck in that. That was a beautiful dress, right? No shirt tucked in there.
no shirt tuck in there. No.
No, some players don't like that. Some players are like, I'd just rather play. I'd rather go home in sweats or whatever. Are you a fan of the glam up moments? It's sort of it's a nice part of being an athlete to get to go to these big events.
Yeah, it is. I'm always down for a moment where we can like switch it up. Again, I would say 95% of my life is lived in sweatpants. And like, it's nice to just like be a girl for once and like get dressed up. We have these makeup artists and these incredible events we get to go to. So I love getting able to go. I would not say I'm like the traditional glitz and glam that maybe some of my teammates are. I definitely need help in some of these ways. I'm not like a big designer girl. I'm more of like a canvas tote or, my New Yorker tote. That's my go-to.
There you go.
She's
The
wearing a
free
dress
one you
with
get.
Timberlands.
Yeah.
Like Sam.
A Yankee cap. She's like, what's good? Where's
Yeah,
the,
literally.
Where's the food?
You call this pizza? Yeah. So no, but it's always fun to kind of switch it up a little bit.
Does when tucking the shirt, how often does it get untucked during a game?
Honestly, not often. I got it pretty snugged in there. Like
Oh,
I got my
right.
court side and like
Because you know how they say certain like center backs like Virgil van Dijk, they'll be like, oh, like he looks like he's not really doing anything because he's always in the right position. I would imagine the barometer of how good of a game you had. It's like if the tuck didn't move at all, you're like, I didn't even have to. No diving tackles. I was in the
your expected tucks is 0.0. You had a great game. Sam Coffey is crushing it.
I love that.
The
I love
XT
that.
is
I mean,
low.
look, like I'm not known for my speed. And so like I would say no one's also in a position where they absolutely like need to pull my shirt out of the tuck to catch me on a quick counter. Like I like to believe I have other strengths, but I would not say that my speed is one of them. So I don't think there's many opportunities where I'm worried too much about the tuck getting undone. And if it does, I just go back real quick because it's got to be in order.
I want to ask because obviously you guys are about to play 2 big games against Portugal, and you scored, I believe it was Ireland, China, and one other game that you've scored. But when it was the matches against Ireland, if I'm not mistaken, those were 2 in a row. Sometimes the women's national team will play 2 matches back to back against the same nation.
Yeah.
You like that? You hate that? Is it fun?
I don't know if I like or dislike. It's always hard. It's always hard. And I will say, I think what I do like about it is that it does prepare us for major tournaments where a lot of the time that does happen. Like we in 2024 played Germany in the group stage and then had to play them again in the semifinal, like probably a week later because those games were like boom, boom, boom. So yeah, it's always hard because teams are always going to come out differently. Usually there's personnel change, different formation, whatever it might be. And so it's like such a test to be able to, okay, we beat you well this first time, but like the second game is going to pose a totally different challenge. And it's a different city, different climate, different fields. Again, usually they switch up some stuff. We try to switch up some stuff. So it's always challenging. It's always a good time, especially when it's, top opponents that we get to play and it's great prep for major tournaments.
I would imagine like the only negative is bad blood spilling over to
they remember.
They're like, oh, we just played you.
Yeah. We remember you.
You're whispering in someone's ear. I remember you. You untucked my shirt.
I want to ask just a couple more questions before we let you go. The winning the Olympic gold. I mean, obviously you were talking about the homecoming at Sleepy Hollow, but just such a good moment, I think, for the U.S. Women's national team and fans of the national team, especially of how difficult that 2023 World Cup was, because I mean, we bumped into Alyssa Nair at a party a while ago, and I was like, the ball didn't cross the line. She was just like, it didn't, right? And so we still haven't sort of let go of that. But I mean, it was just a great moment, just seeing the joy on all the players' faces. Obviously, Trinity Rodman was who was already a star, but really got a lot more attention after that Olympic win. But what is your favorite memory from winning the Olympics?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I feel like the easy answer is gold. So I feel like I got to give you something else.
No, but I'm sure there was a tackle you put in or something. That was.
I mean, look, I got myself into some trouble, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
Couple yellows.
Just a couple. I mean, look, that rule is so stupid. Like, come on. What you get?
I completely agree. That's
cards.
my soccer hot take. Yellow card accumulation is dumb.
Thank you. Look, it was totally on me. Like, I own it. But, I mean, easy answer goals. Like, just the quintessential euphoric moment you dream of as a kid. Like, your life flashes before your eyes of all the times you're out on the field alone and the extra sessions and the car rides and all of it that leads to just this moment of pure joy where your dreams are coming true and you're just like, oh my gosh, is this real life? So I have just so much gratitude for that experience and for that moment. I mean, I would say best experience. I mean, I personally I think other than the final, of course, I think our win in group stage against Germany, I think it was 3-1, 4-1. I'm blanking now on the score. It's all a blur, but that was just we were on some different level. I'm not going to curse, but it was really it was just, we were so on it. And our cohesion, our connection, it was so good. And it felt like we were playing FIFA. Honestly, I was
Sure.
this weird. And I remember leaving that game and actually going up to Hyatt and I'm like, we're doing it. like this is happening. He's like, we have like some ways to go, and I'm like, you're so right, but like we're doing it.
Yeah.
So I would say
but
that.
shut
that
up,
game.
we're winning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, this is
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, and we're just like a force to be reckoned with, and I think that momentum totally carried us forward in the rest of the tournament. So it was just an incredible experience, though.
Who's the first person you text a photo of the gold medal to?
I think it was my parents were there. I think it was some friends I've met here in Portland, and I actually was drug tested. So it's like this awful selfie. I'm like in the like I'm about to get drug tested. I think Marta's in there as well. She's obviously like emotional, and a couple other Brazilian girls, and we're just in this room, and like you go from the podium to then being followed back by one of the
Yeah.
drug testing people who are like watching your every move.
Right.
because, like,
Congratulations. I have to watch you pee now.
literally, and they're like, and then I'm pretty sure my pee might have been too dilute because like I'd been drinking too much water. I don't know, and then I had to do it again. So anyway, my first picture is like literally the selfie, and you see the medal, and I'm like trying not to be noticeable because there's people everywhere. Again, like watching everything. So I'm like, am I gonna get in trouble for taking a picture? I had gold medal. So I think that was the first picture I'd sent, and I'm like, yep, this is.
That's
It's
hilarious.
not
Yeah.
glamorous. I'm not pounding beers.
We
I'm in fact
actually
peeing
have
in a cup.
a very weird story about players being having to do the drug test after matches. We just got back from Dortmund, and in Dortmund there's a legendary story of there was a Champions League game, I believe against Juve, and they were doing a
This is
drug.
very
They
German.
have a room, so they're giving us a tour, and they show the room. There's like that's where they do the drug test, and they bring the players in, and
Because the players have sweat so much, in order to help you, they give you beer.
That's
So right
nice.
after the match, they'll hand you a beer, and that'll help you
It
pee.
doesn't have to be
Right.
water, right? It doesn't have to be water.
But the one that was interesting, it was a game against Dortmund against I believe Juve, and a player from Dortmund, I forgot which one, but the another player was Buffon. Gianluigi Buffon is in there, and he's doing and peeing in the cup and doing the whole thing. For some reason, the Juve team bus forgot he was in there doing that, and they left without him.
Well, because the other player
Oh.
needed more beer because he couldn't pee. So they wouldn't let either of them out.
Oh my gosh, no.
And then he ended up like the team left, like they had a flight, and he had to end up having to fly.
Dortmund got him a private jet.
Dortmund got him a private jet to go.
All right.
And I think the
you
other
don't
player
live
was
like that,
Shinji Kagawa.
Maybe I forgot.
Yeah,
who it was.
and he was so drunk
Oh.
because he doesn't like beer. I will ask
Well-
one quick question. You mentioned Marta. Does she remember that you interviewed her when you were like 11 years old?
No, definitely not.
You didn't bring it up?
No, I mean,
Not
Martha's
at
got
that
other
time,
things-
right?
No, yeah. I mean, well, no. I mean, well, not. And she's just like she's got other things to think about and worry about. She doesn't have to think about me. I mean, I think about it obviously because I mean, I think everyone in our league just has like nothing but absolute respect and just awe of Marta and just her, not just her longevity, but yeah, just like truly one of the greatest female players to ever touch a ball and has just left the game totally so much better than she found it. And we hope she continues to play, obviously. But yeah, I have vivid memories of that experience. My mom actually speaks Portuguese, so she was like translating for us, and I'm just like standing there, like looking up at Marta, and I'm like looking at my mom, and I'm just like in awe that this is actually happening. And then all of a sudden, you're sharing a field with her, and you're chasing her around trying to win a gold medal, and I'm like, wow, life is pretty crazy.
Life's
And
awesome.
Here we are.
But I mean,
yeah.
marking Marta, even now, it has to be quite frustrating. She's still very good.
I don't even think that like marking is the word I would use. Probably like getting beat by. Yeah. Like
Watching?
I mean, just watching her go
Viewing?
past you. Like
Yeah.
no, I mean she is just incredible and so good on the ball, so creative and savvy, and like I'm just a huge fan of her game. And yeah, I don't love playing against her, but I
Of course not.
secretly fangirl like while I'm, still on the field.
Okay. Two quick questions. The last few, definitely last like 2-3 years, TikTok and national team, U.S. women's national team TikTok is. I follow
love it.
everybody.
I love it.
I see Alyssa Thompson, and it was now at Chelsea, but always she has the dances or whatever. I know
Yeah.
there's always a lot of like encouragement, and I don't know if you've been in any. How much conversation preparation is happening for these TikToks? Because it seems like it become a big part of the culture of the locker room.
huge part of the culture, like definitely one of our founding pillars as a team and like what really has gotten us through so many difficult moments.
Just how Michelle Akers assumed it would have been.
Yeah. They passed down the tradition of TikToks to the next generation. No, I mean, look, I'm definitely not the girl to ask. I'm a little bit, like the Tuck. I'm a little bit old school in that way. I don't even have it, so I don't really know what all goes on. I love watching them, and I will be happy to participate if I'm called upon. And I think the ones even like we do on media day and kind of like the voiceover ones are always so funny. But those girls, like, I don't think they're like practicing for days. Like they just rip it out and they get it flawlessly. And I think it's just something to behold. And look, they are growing the platform. They are attracting different fans. So it's just like, I love it. And they're always so funny when they do it.
Last question for me. This is something I want to start. I haven't done this with other guests that we've had in the past, but I want to start because I saw somebody talk about this. What's the greatest goal you've ever seen live?
Ooh.
And you can take some time to think about it or anything. But I'm curious. I want to hear what players, maybe they've been on the pitch, maybe they were watching them, but I'm curious what that vantage point, that point of view from players.
Greatest goals I've ever seen live. And I'm thinking about like when I was a kid. I mean,
I would say when I scored. Different personalities.
Look, I mean, yeah. There's not that many of those, honestly. I mean, I will say, watching Trin's goal in the quarterfinal when I was not playing and I was in the stands watching I was hostage. Like I couldn't even be with the team. Like I'm up there in jail. Like there's a security guard making sure I don't like go crazy.
Right. Ridiculous.
But and I'm sitting there just like with my heart in my stomach the 120 minutes. And I mean, never doubted we were gonna win. Like even the whole game, I'm just like, this is going to happen. I know it's gonna happen. And she just cuts her defender and like left-footed curler postage stamp. I think I gotta say that one. And just like the emotional relief too of like, oh my God. Like I went up to her after and I was like, God bless. God bless.
Thank you for giving me one more game to play.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really wanted to get back in there.
Yeah. But just, I mean, and just such an incredible goal. Like incredible.
No,
so
a huge moment. I love it.
That's massive. Yeah, that's really cool.
You got anything else?
No, that's it. All right. Sam, thank you so much for taking the time.
Sam Coffey. Everybody, obviously, the matches for the national team are coming up October 23rd and October 26th and October 28th. So 2 against Portugal, 1 against New Zealand. It's going to be obviously very exciting to see you back there and playing. And obviously, NWSL playoffs are obviously coming soon, and we're still all fighting for positions. It's very tight. Outside, for some reason, Kansas City has all the points. I don't know why.
Whatever.
For now. But anything can happen in the playoffs. So best of luck in the NWSL playoffs, and best of luck for the rest of the season. Sam Coffey, it's been an absolute honor. You're welcome on this show anytime. And if you're ever in New York, don't hesitate to stop by.
Oh, I will be. Don't keep about it. Yeah, thank you.
We're going to Wakey Hollow, baby.
The W.
Everybody knows it. WH.
Thank you so much, Sam.
Thank you, guys.
Shout out to Sam Coffey. Thank you so much for joining us. Absolute honor.
Bro, we got nothing but stars here.
Olympians, gold medalists. And Sam Coffey.
Captain. Right. I'm an Olympian. You guys watch Shot Put?
We out there. So shout out to Sam Coffey. All right. We got to move on to MLS. Hey, Caleb Porter has been fired by the New England Revolution.
Yeah.
So let's take a look around the league and see if Jim Curtin is the right hire for the club. So it might be news to some people if you're not locked into Major League Soccer.
If you're not an MLS sicko.
But Caleb Porter, a person who, I mean, we can be pretty frank here. And not to say that we have too many sort of inside sources.
We got some.
We got a couple. I really have never heard anybody say something positive about Caleb Porter.
Yeah, no, man. Everything we heard was, this guy sucks. But I mean, also, sometimes it's just there's not a good union. Jim Curtin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Between the coach and the team, or maybe it starts on a bad foot. I also think in the past, Caleb Porter won everywhere else he went pretty much, right? Besides New England.
He won
at Columbus,
and at Portland. So he has a history of success.
But I have a feeling that success is what made everyone be like, all right, there's a method to the madness.
Yeah.
And in New England, it was just madness.
But it's something like where that personality, that tone might work for one era, you know, in the early 2010s.
You're saying they too Gen Z in New England.
It's a little bit like, you know, how Bobby Knight was successful, but it just after a while, it's like, all right, grandpa's throwing a little too many chairs.
Right? Because you see a chair get thrown in the 80s and you say to yourself, hey, I'm inspired.
Exactly.
And now you say, I need to speak to your manager.
Because we're catching it in 4K. When it was grainy.
You can't do that.
you can't do that. So Caleb Porter.
Or if you're my nephew, you just stare at me. And you're like, say something.
The Gen Z stare.
I'm not Netflix, baby.
There was an article.
Was there?
On the prostinternational.com.
Yeah, I saw this, which we all follow. It's when I wake up in the morning and I go right to Prost International.
By Caleb Pongratz. I believe he covers the New England Revolution for the Prost International.
Oh, did Caleb Quarter? I don't know why they fired this guy.
But the headline of the article said nobody loves him, and he forgets that we have family and our people.
That's the title.
That is the headline of this article, and not a ringing endorsement for your coach. So if you look up this article, you can see a lot of quotes from former players. They're all anonymous.
Yeah.
The one we know that
it feels also unanimous at the same time.
The one we know. So Maxi Urruti, friend of the show, we made mate with him in Frisco when he was at FC Dallas.
Right, we called him Mate Urruti.
Right. So the homie. And so Maxi Urruti, who was released by the New England Revolution,
unceremoniously apparently.
After they lost, he tweeted out a message, or on Instagram he posted, I believe, an IG story, and this is a rough translation in English, but basically said, at the end, the problem was not the real problem.
Damn.
So clearly saying, yo, that.
You try to blame this on me.
It's on me, and y'all get smacked by LAFC.
Yeah.
And so when you are a former player and you're like basically gloating when your former team loses, I'm gonna say Maxi probably has a couple points here that
sure, but you're not making it sound like you weren't any of the problem either.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, I understand. I mean, you have to realistically be like, and Maxi Urruti is a player towards the end of his career, but we met him, and nothing came across as this dude is like mean or mean-spirited or anything. He was a very lighthearted, fun guy. Yeah. So, but I think, have we been around Caleb Porter before? I don't know if we have.
I think very briefly we were, and it wasn't
he on Morning Footy?
I believe we did interview him, yes.
And it was not
a great one.
He's not a fun guy to just chat with.
Yeah, he wasn't the warmest human being.
Exactly. And when
not the most intense, very intense, but not the most intense.
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, when I see some of these comments from players, I'm like,
my favorite in the article is how it talks about how he would tell players, hey, don't listen to the outside noise. Don't listen to the media. Don't even look at it.
Yeah.
We got to keep it inside. And then he pulled players' eyes like, yo, you see what they saying about me in the media?
It's such a fact.
This is ridiculous.
This is the most gaslighting thing I've ever really heard of.
And then he would ask players to sort of speak out.
Well, yeah, he said, so he didn't have a Twitter. He didn't have social media, but was on, he clearly had burners, clearly watching what everybody's saying. So he would bring up articles and commentary from other people and tell the player, like, yo, can you say publicly, like, oh, this didn't happen.
Take the heat off me real quick.
Right. And apparently it's
like high school when you'd be like, yo, tell your girl, right? Because I know she's mad at me right now, but she's your friend. Yo, tell your girl that I was with you that whole time. You know what I mean?
Basically. But apparently the only player that ever did this was Mark Anthony Kaye.
Hilarious.
And he's no longer at he's at Toronto now.
Every ass kiss begins with K.
I'm sure.
I'm only joking. He just worked too well to not do it.
But interesting enough, in the article itself, it also corroborates. So Mark Anthony Kaye said, like, hey, don't mention my name on things that aren't true. And the reporter Caleb here said, right? Is his name Caleb? Did I get that correct? Caleb, yeah. He said that was true. That was correct. Like it was about a fight in the locker room between players, and Mark Anthony Kaye said like that actually didn't happen. And then he investigated it and asked about it, and that it actually did not happen. So Mark Anthony Kaye doing this was because it was true, not because necessarily Caleb Porter
he wasn't
him or told him to do it.
Yeah.
So he was like literally disavowing a story that was not true.
Yeah.
So, but this is just hilarious. And the main thing for us, I mean, based on the stuff we've heard, not surprising at all. It's
a little surprising how bad it was, but no one ever said this was like, no, it'll turn around. No one. And, we know people associated with the club or work with the club, and they were all like, it's way worse than they're even saying. So we never knew like what that meant, but now it's like none of this really shocks me.
It's interesting that this, we have all this detail here about this, and we still don't know what happened with Bruce Arena, right? It's just a very strange.
Well, Prost needs to get on top of this.
Prost International, sort this out.
Where's Bruce Arena to do the story? So, I mean, the other thing we've heard now is that Jim Curtin seems to be the name that's floated around.
Yeah.
Apparently, they've made contact with Jim Curtin.
And I'm texting Jim Curtin, stay away.
Yo.
Don't go anywhere near.
Nah, she's toxic.
The Kraft family is gonna ruin you, bro.
Yeah. I just think this is a bad situation. But also just from a footballing perspective, forget like the coach or the owner. It just feels like this team needs to go through another rebuild.
Yeah.
And Jim, do you really want to be in charge of that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's unless they're...
He listens, so we're literally talking to him.
There has to be a very good offer financially. He's currently still getting paid from the Philadelphia Union. He has no reason to rush to take some job. At the end of the MLS season, there'll be a bunch of coaching opportunities available on with teams that are probably in a little bit more stable positions. So... Look,
or at least that are maybe come across as more exciting projects.
Yeah, I mean, with all due respect to all our Revs listeners and fans and friends, it's just right now, it's like we know Jim, and bro, I just want what's best for him.
Yeah, man. I mean, I know you guys are our fans, but so is he. So we got to talk to him directly.
We have to consider that. Yeah, it's a bad.
It seems like a bad situation. Now, the positive is though, if you turn that around, you're a god.
Sure.
And Bruce Arena, you mentioned him, was at that point where they're like, oh man, it seems like things are turning around, and that sort of failed pretty horrifically, miserably. We just still don't know what happened.
Sure.
But it collapsed at one point. So, do you want to walk into this mess? I wouldn't if I were. I also still don't really know how much this team is sort of like a focal point for the ownership. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know they've invested, so you can't say they haven't, but it still doesn't feel like the right.
The one thing that could be a like sort of exciting part of it is that I know the Revolution are trying to get their own stadium in Boston proper.
Yeah, that's true.
And then if there's like news there about that, you would think that there would be a lot more investment, and it's just like the identity of the club since Bruce Arena left is like sort of gone. I don't even Caleb Porter.
It's bad when you'd rather be the coach of Boss Nation. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I think the legacy now or whatever.
Legacy, yeah. The other, we don't have this on the rundown, but I don't know if DC United also fired their GM.
Yeah.
I've been sort of keeping up as much as possible, but they hired some sort of interim sporting director that is in Germany and working remotely. Which is just
Zoom meetings, bro.
Which is just
a work from Deutschland is new. This is new.
Which is so surreal. And again, another club that are really in kind of like just disarray. And
ever since they built the stadium, it's been
I saw. I believe Charles Boehm had posted on Blue Sky. Audi Field has hosted one playoff game in 7 years since it was built. I mean, the Washington Spirit are doing great. They have an exciting time, but DC United are not. And they host a couple, congressional games that I've emceed.
You have? Yeah, you have.
So that's been fun as well. But DC United are another one where I've been just seeing a lot of stuff from the fans themselves and saying like that they're no longer they're not going to renew their season tickets. Like fans that have been season ticket holders since 1996 when MLS started.
That's crazy.
And they said they're not going to renew until the team is sold. And that's they're not going to buy merch. They're not going to buy single game tickets. Like people are just truly, absolutely done.
They ain't got that many of them to say no to. You know what I mean?
So,
like you need to.
Yeah, really unfortunate.
Save the pupusas, bro.
So I mean we're getting closer to the playoffs, but this is around the time you'll see a couple coaches get fired. People start thinking about the future.
How good of a player Benteke is, and you're just wasting.
It's just a waste, man. So disappointing. So disappointing.
Damn.
All right. Let's wrap.
The last good thing that happened was Wayne Rooney. That the Lucho
fun
Costa.
moments.
Yeah.
Did Rooney ever make it to the playoffs with DC?
I think that Lucho Costa header got him in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe. Yeah, it was a game that they needed to win.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what year they got there. Anyway, thank you everybody for listening to another episode of the Cooligans. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Sam Coffey.
Shout out to Sam Coffey, the legend. Just call it captain now.
Yeah.
That's all we have to do. So. Everybody, just make sure you subscribe to the show. If you have not, hit subscribe, hit the
like button, do
the
all the
button,
things you're supposed to do.
Make sure you follow us on our socials at Soccer Cooligans on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, especially. All the action is happening over there. More and more people are joining.
Mm-hmm.
You can scroll.
How much stock do you own in this?
But you can scroll through and not see any Elon tweets, bro. It's amazing.
What a beautiful. Unless people screen cap them.
So occasionally,
you'll get some
but it's a much more
like they're roasting.
It's a much more peaceful scroll.
Yeah.
So that's why I always recommend
it's not
it.
as much doom scrolling.
Exactly. So make sure you follow us there. And we're gonna be in Kansas City again this weekend for the Premier League Fan Fest, Premier League mornings with NBC, the whole gang.
In BBQ, baby.
Rebecca Lowe, Tim Howard, the two Robbies.
Yes, us. We're also Robbies now.
It's all right. It's 6 Robbies.
Robbie Howard, Robbie Lowe, Robbie Musto, Robbie Earl,
Robbie
Polanco, Robbie Guerreros.
So you love them all. So
Robbie Shearer. We're all gonna be there.
Robbie Wright, of course. You'll see us there. We'll be on stage saying hello to everybody. Feel free to, again, like I said last episode, say hello. We're happy to take some selfies. Do whatever you got to do. Happy to, kiss your baby.
Yeah.
Okay? Whatever you got to do. All right? So
even if you don't ask, Christian's going to be like, I'm going to kiss your baby.
I mean, literally a ridiculous thing to say. I would never do such a, but the fun thing about the Premier League Fan Fest is that people love Rebecca Lowe so much that they give her their baby.
People do hand from the crowd,
from
like
the
not even near her.
They're like, yo, catch.
And, but what happens to every baby that's in her arms? Stay calm.
Oh, but without a doubt.
You put a baby in my hands, even that baby knows this wasn't the right move, parents.
America.
This guy's nervous. I'm nervous. What's going on?
She's America's soccer mom. Yeah. Everybody knows.
Why is he holding me by the leg? I don't know how to hold a baby.
All right, we'll see you in Kansas City. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your games. We got a Merseyside derby for that fan fest. So I hope all
Liverpool over under 6 goals.
I know who Cash Patel's rooting for. So we'll see you.
Actually, he just said Everton don't exist, which is weird. We have so much evidence. It's weird.
All right. Take care, everybody. Peace.
All right, look, Jim Curtin is our friend, right? And that's why we may not want him to go into an epic failure. And you can decide if you think the Inter Miami situation is an epic failure by watching our video. Just click right on Christian's head. It'll take you right to it. It's a great one.
And if you want to subscribe to the channel, click on Alexis's head right there. Go for it.